Okay, in this tutorial, we're going to touch base on the sales analysis menu. And the sales analysis from the master menu is number 12. So I'm going to key in number 12. And the one we're interested in here is the very first one. Sales by customer, by product. Basically, the whole sales analysis menu looks at the line items of an invoice. So I'm going to go ahead and key in number 1. And you have all kinds of sort options here. I'm going to keep it simple to start with, and then we're going to break it down. Bear this in mind as we run this. We have 211,000 orders out there. And every order has between 8 and 10 line items on an order, by average, if you will. So that being said, I'm going to hit return from and to customer. Order date we don't care about. Invoice date is what we care about. That's when we close out a ticket. 101-2015-1231, 2015. And I only want to see orders for salesman number 116. By the way, I in an earlier practice run here, I tried doing a specific category of like Carrier Transicold. And what I got was only the parts, not the labor. So let's see what the report looks like first, and then we'll do another pass at this. Okay, one final thing is specific order type. If you look down at the bottom, your options are S, a W, or an R. So an S is a sales order, W is a work order, and an R is a rental. So in this case, we're going to do a W. I want to see work in the shop. And I want to see the work that salesman number 116 brought in for the entire year of 2015. So we're only going to see his orders. Do a P to print. And this should take a couple seconds. Wow, that was pretty quick considering 211 orders, 211,000 orders. Okay, so basically what we're looking at here is here's a customer, and there's the first invoice, if you will. Here's a second invoice for that customer. And where you see customer PO number, we use that field to store the serial number on the work order menu. Purchase order is the same as your serial number for that unit. But what we're looking at here is, let's take a look at what's in this report. When you see vendor here, this really means where do you buy the part. 1,000 means it's a Carrier. 2749, I'm not sure who the vendor is, but you get the gist of it. And we've got the invoice number that went on. You notice they're all the same for that. And basically, this is the equivalent of the job cost report that we run in every work order anyway, but it's more in a report format. And we're showing you the gross sale, the cost, the profit, and profit percentage. And that's what we're looking at. We're trying to, labor, we automatically book the cost at half of the sell price. But labor on your financial really comes from payroll. So the cost of labor is not patched up to general ledger from this work order system. It comes from payroll. Okay, so that being said, this salesman has brought in quite a few clients, and if you look, we got 48 pages we went through, and just kind of looking at an order. Here's an $1,800 order. You can see the different mechanics working on this, and over a different time frame. And so you get the gist of what's in this report. When we go to the end, it is just one grand total. There's no special summary on the tail end of this report. And we give customer totals as the customer changes. But basically, it's in alphabetical order by customer, and then you see the orders underneath each customer. There might be, 5 or 6 orders for the full year, whatever, depending on the customer. So that's how it works. Now let's do the next level. Let's do number 1 again. And I'm going to hit all zeros here. And hit return for today's 0101 2015 1231 2015 1231 2015. Now, interestingly enough, in one of my practice runs here, what I did was specify a category of CT, and all of the labor items dropped off because labor is labor as far as the category goes. It's not so if you do CT, you're only going to get parts for that category. However, what we do on every single work order is before you print, we use territory as a job type, like whether it's Carrier, Thermo King, or Groeneveld. So in this case, 10 is Carrier. And I can specify a particular branch. And again, I only want to see work orders. Now this will be a much larger report because I didn't narrow it down by salesman. But I did say I only want to see Carrier product. So it runs through pretty quick considering the volume of data that we're plowing through. And in this particular case, that report is 835 pages. God, I remember the days when we used to use dot matrix printers. Anyway, you kind of get the gist of here, what's going on. And let's see if we can find a customer name here. Okay, so here's the customer name. Here's all the individual invoices underneath that customer name. And it keeps going, and it keeps going. And again, the customer PO here is really the serial number of that unit. Well, that customer does a lot of sales apparently. Okay, so you get the gist though. So by doing this, we said, hey, only show me the Carrier product within the company and break it down accordingly. Okay, let's do one more pass here. Let's look at the Groeneveld. So I'm going to run number 1 one more time. Groeneveld are the automatic greasing systems. And I don't want to do GV for Groeneveld here because if I do, I won't get the labor. However, my territory is number 19 is Groeneveld. And then it shows parts and labor for Groeneveld only sales and all the stores. Well, that went pretty quick. Let's get it to convert to a PDF. Okay, there we go. So here we're showing, and the profit margin on Groeneveld is a lot higher. And again, these systems are basically an automatic greasing system for a semi. So they don't have to come into the shop and have their fittings and their, axles greased all the time. These things get constantly fed and they have a large bucket of grease. And there's a motor that pumps it out to all the fittings underneath the truck. And they only need to bring it in to fill that big pail now and then rather than tie up the truck in the shop. Anyway, you get the gist. So we looked at a good product line here and see what's involved. Okay, that pretty well sums up number 1 on the sales analysis menu. Thank you for watching.